In keeping with the safety slash technique theme as we go along, I'm going to show you another example where safety is something that you really can look at using the QuikScout inMotion software. This time I'm going to go into the offensive lineman section where we have a coach's choice power lift example. And I'm going to scroll down to it here. We've got the same athlete doing a power lift, one right after the other, and we're kind of comparing the technique of the two. What I want to do though is I want to take the model on the left, the one where it's done properly, and I want to compare it against one of my own players. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to click the duplicate button again, and it's going to ask me for a name, and I'll just go power lift with player Smith, and I'm going to go ahead and hit OK. It's going to create an exact copy of what we see there. You can see it says power lift Smith up here. Now this is available from my drop down menu. And once it loads, I'm going to replace the video here on the right with my player Smith. So I'm going to go ahead and click change video. And let's see which one my video is. This one here is my video. I'm going to go ahead and hit open. And now it's going to put my video on the right side. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to sync the two together so that they are doing the same exact thing. And let's see, I'm going to go ahead and turn this player off. And I'm going to rewind our player here so that he's at the beginning of his lift. Let's get it to about where the bar is at his waist. We'll say about right there. Let's turn him on, turn him off. And we'll run him to about the same point when it's at his waist. Let's see. Say about right there. Then we'll turn both of them on and we'll rewind back to the beginning. And we'll say about right here is good. So now I'll click the start time button on both sides, and that will sync them together. And now as we run through this and look at the example, you can see the differences between the coach's choice sample on the left and one of my athletes on the right. So I'm just going to run through this a little bit here. And we'll get to the point where we were earlier when we synced it, and that really shows a big difference in the technique of the two. Let me grab my pen here and I can actually illustrate for you here. If we look at the two players, you can obviously see here this is definitely a big problem with the way he's lifting, the way his arms are kind of bowed out a little bit. Whereas our player here, this is more where his arms are in front of him more. He's kind of lifting up a little bit more, whereas the player's, I don't know, he's kind of, I don't know, pulling up. I'm not really sure how to explain that, but you can see the big time difference between the two players. This is A, unsafe, and B, it's not proper technique. So you're kind of increasing the risk of injury here by doing it this way. And whereas you're also just doing it wrong, and you're not really getting the full effect of the weights. So using the QuikScout inMotion program and slowing it down and kind of going third of a second by third of a second, you can see differences between the two. Really help you with technique, really help you with the safety. And the big key now is how do we get this to the athlete so that the athlete can look at it, and that's where that drop box come in handy. As I've already explained a couple times here, all we have to do is close down the program, open up our Dropbox folder, and here's our shared QuikScout folder, and we're going to browse to our football team, and we'll go to our offensive lineman, and we'll open up our weightlifting folder where we have our weights, and we can grab the two videos. We can Control C and copy them, go to the folder, hit Control V like Victor, and you can paste them into the Dropbox folder, and now they're there available for the players to use.